Once upon a time in a small village near Ujeb, you ever heard someone say that being poor isn't so bad, that there's a certain satisfaction in having just enough to get by? For generations, in a small, isolated village, this was the accepted truth. Life was hard, resources were scarce, but the villagers believed this was their destiny, a noble struggle. They were told that wanting more was greedy, that their simple life was a blessing in disguise. This belief, this comfortable lie, was woven into the very fabric of their community, a story told by the village chief himself, whose name, fittingly, was Ignorance. Ignorance had ruled the village for as long as anyone could remember. He was a charismatic leader, his words soothing and his presence reassuring. He taught them that the world outside was dangerous and complicated, and that their predictable, unchanging lives were a fortress against chaos. The villagers, knowing nothing else, believed him. They found a strange comfort in their limitations, a sense of pride in their shared hardship. They celebrated their poverty as a virtue, a shield against the supposed corruption that came with wealth and ambition. The idea of more was a foreign concept, a ghost story to frighten children. Then, one day, a stranger arrived. He carried books instead of tools, and his eyes shone with a light the villagers had never seen before. His name was Knowledge. True to his nature as a welcoming chief, Ignorance was the first to greet him. He strode up to the stranger with a confident smile, ready to explain the village's ways and gently dismiss any newfangled ideas. He offered Knowledge a seat by the central fire, preparing to deliver his usual speech about the contentment found in simplicity. "Welcome, traveler," Ignorance began, his voice warm and paternal. "You've come to a peaceful place. Here, we don't trouble ourselves with the burdens of ambition. We have all we need, and in that, we find true happiness." He expected the stranger to nod, perhaps to be charmed by this rustic philosophy. But Knowledge simply listened, a thoughtful expression on his face. When Ignorance finished, Knowledge began to speak. He didn't argue or criticize. Instead, he asked questions. "It's a beautiful philosophy," Knowledge said calmly. "But tell me, Chief, why do your children's clothes have so many patches? Why do the elderly shiver in the winter? You say you have all you need, but I see so much need all around me." Knowledge then pointed to the river. "You draw water with buckets, a task that takes hours each day. Did you know that by using the principles of leverage and flow, you could build a system to bring water directly into the village?" He then pointed to the fields. "You plant the same crop year after year, and the soil grows tired. Did you know that by rotating crops and using natural compost, you could double, even triple your harvest?" Ignorance listened, and for the first time in his life, he felt a flicker of unease. He tried to counter, to use his old, comforting words. "But our way is the way it has always been. It is our tradition. Change is risky," he boomed, trying to regain his authority. Knowledge simply smiled. "Tradition is the story of what worked in the past. It is not a cage that prevents you from building a better future. Risk isn't in trying something new. The real risk is in refusing to grow when the world offers you a better way." With every question Knowledge asked, with every possibility he unveiled, Ignorance felt his power slipping. He saw the villagers leaning in, their eyes wide with a dawning realization. The comfortable blanket of their beliefs was starting to feel like a heavy, suffocating shroud. Ignorance realized he couldn't control this stranger. Knowledge couldn't be charmed, bullied, or dismissed. His power came from truth and logic, two things Ignorance had no defense against. And so, under the cover of night, Ignorance packed his few belongings and slipped away from the village he had ruled for so long, vanishing into the shadows from whence he came. With Ignorance gone, a new era began. Knowledge didn't become the new chief. He became a teacher. He gathered the villagers and showed them what he had seen. He taught them how to build an aqueduct from bamboo, freeing up hours of their day. He showed them how to create fertilizer from scraps, and soon, their fields were overflowing with a variety of vegetables they had never tasted before. He helped them read the stars to predict the seasons and taught them basic medicine using local herbs. He showed them that the forest they feared held not just dangers, but also valuable wood for stronger homes and new foods to eat. The river wasn't just a water source, but a potential source of power. The villagers learned that their world was not small and limited, but vast and full of opportunity. They weren't just surviving anymore, they were thriving. They learned that true satisfaction didn't come from accepting lack, but from using their minds and hands to create abundance. Their daily needs were not just met, they were surpassed, leaving room for art, for music, for stories, for joy. This story holds a powerful lesson for all of us. What has been accepted for ages isn't always the truth. The beliefs we hold, especially the ones that limit us, deserve to be questioned. The idea that you should be satisfied with less than you are capable of is a lie told by ignorance. It keeps you small, it keeps you stagnant. True personal growth, true satisfaction, comes from seeking knowledge. It comes from daring to ask, is there a better way? It comes from challenging your own limitations and discovering the immense potential that lies within you and the world around you. Don't let ignorance be the chief of your life. Open the door to knowledge and watch your world transform. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that challenges you to grow.